This is the lesson 7.2 independent practice. This is page 183. Let's get started. Number 11 reads, the scale of the map is missing. The actual distance from Liberty to West Qual is 72 miles and it is 6 inches on the map. So if we go from Liberty here to West Qual here, we know that it is 72 miles in real life, and on the map it's 6 inches. And what we're trying to figure out is a scale. And the scale is the thing that goes down in the corner of the map that usually tells us, it would say something like 1 inch on the map is equal to blank miles in real life. So if I look at the information I was given here, it's like it's not simplified. So what I'm going to do here to figure out 1 inch is I'm going to divide by 6. So if I divide 6 inches by 6, I'd get 1 inch. And that's what I want. I want to know how much 1 inch is. And if you divide if you divide 6 inches by 6, you have to divide 72 miles by 6. And if you look on your multiplication chart, you'll realize 6 goes into 72 12 times. So 1 inch is equal to 12 miles. That's the scale. Question B reads, I'm going to go ahead and make a little space here. Question B reads, Foston is between Liberty and West Qual. Here's Foston right here. And is 4 inches from Liberty on the map. So from Liberty to Foston is 4 inches. How far is Foston from West Qual? Now we're not talking about on the map, because I could easily say that that's 2 inches. I'm talking about in real life. So I know that's 2 inches because to get from Liberty all the way to West Qual is 6 inches. And the directions tell me that from Liberty to Foston is 4 inches, so the remainder has to be 2 inches. And then if I use my scale from A, if 1 inch is equal to 12 miles, then 2 inches would be 24 miles. And that is the correct answer to question B. Okay, I'm going to show you, we're going to scroll to the bottom of the page. We're going to actually skip number 12, the whole thing. So you can actually just take your pencil and you can write skip right here. We're going to skip all of number 12, and then we're going to finish the rest of the page starting at number 13. And for number 13, I'm going to use a whiteboard. Number 13 reads, on an airplane there are 2 seats in the left side of each row and 3 seats on the right. There are 90 seats on the right side of the plane. How many seats are on the left side of the plane? This is really hard unless you actually draw a picture. And if you do draw a picture, it's not that hard. So what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to draw an airplane. And that almost looks like a whale. But I will draw some engines on it. There we go. So here's the point though. I'm going to take this information right here. It says there's 2 seats on the left and 3 seats on the right. So what I can do here is I can put like little X's here. Now that's a ratio. It's a ratio of 2 seats on the left to 3 seats on the right. And then it says there's 90 seats on the right side of the plane. So if there's going to be 90 here, how many are going to be here? And that's a math problem. And I can set it up right here in the corner. So on the left side of the plane there are 2, and on the right side of the plane there are 3. And it says there are 90 on the right. This is a math problem. How do I get from 3 to 90? I multiply by 30. So what do I need to do here? I need to multiply by 30. So how many seats are on the left side of the plane? 60 on the left. 60 seats. How many seats are there altogether? Well, I need to add up my seats on the left, which is 60, and my seats on the right, which are 90, and I get 150. 150 seats altogether. Alright, let's move on. Number 14 reads, Carrie and Crystal are taking a road trip from Greenville to North Valley. Each person has her own map, and the scales on the map are different. On Carrie's map, Greenville and North Valley are 4.5 inches apart. The scale on her map is 1 inch equals 20 miles. How far is Greenville from North Valley? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the important stuff. The scale on her map is 1 inch equals 20 miles. And on the map, the difference from Greenville to North Valley is 4.5 inches. Well, for every 1 inch, it's 20 miles, so you could actually just do this mentally, counting by 20, 40, 60, 80, but then there's a half at the end, so you have to keep that in mind. You could either do this, where you set up 1 inch. I'll set up my inches over my miles. And according to the scale, 1 inch is equal to 20 miles. But I need to figure out 4.5 inches. And how many miles is that? And then you ask yourself, how do you get from 1 to 4.5? You multiply by 4.5. So how do you get from 20 to unknown? You multiply by 4.5. So one way to do this is just to do 4.5 times 20. The other way to do it is to count up 20, 40, 60, 80 plus another 0.5, and 0.5 is half of 20 is 10. So I basically just helped you figure out it's going to be 90, but I'm going to multiply. You don't need to do 0 times these numbers because you don't get anything. But you do need to start in the tens. We're going to annex that 0. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. You get 90. That's the answer to A, 90 miles. Question B says, the scale on Crystal's map is 1 inch equals 18 miles. So we can't use the same math right here. We can't use all this. I'm going to go ahead and erase it. I can't use all this. I can still use Greenville and North Valley. But the scale, according to question B, is 1 inch equals 18 miles. How far apart are Greenville and North Valley on Crystal's map? Well, what seems to be missing is their distance, but we already know their distance. In real life, the distance is 90 miles. Just because they use different maps doesn't mean that the distance between two actual towns changes. So if you go back to A, the distance between Greenville and North Valley is 90 miles. Question B says it's a different scale. So think about how to set this problem up. So I still can have inches over miles. And this scale is 1 to 18. 1 inch equals 18 miles. And in this problem, I know the miles because I learned that on A. It's 90. So what I'm going to do here is ask myself a math question. How does 18 become 90? Well, it's multiplied by 5. So if you multiply one term by 5, you have to multiply both terms by 5. You're going to do 1 times 5, you're going to get 5. And 5 what? 5 inches. Okay, number 15. Let's move on. And this is multi-step. And this is a little more complicated than it seems. Number 15 reads, a machine can produce 27 inches of ribbon every 3 minutes. 27 inches every 3 minutes. How many feet of ribbon can the machine make in 1 hour? So what a lot of kids do is they do this and they multiply by 20. And the reason why they multiply by 20, and it makes perfect sense, is 3 minutes times 20 is 60 minutes. So that's good thinking. So you multiply this by 20. So I'm going to do 27 times 20. I'm going to set it up as with my 0 offset. And then this 0, I don't need to multiply this 0 by anything because 0 times a bunch of numbers is 0. But it will impact my answer. So I'm going to annex that 0 to the end. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. You get 540. 540 what? 540 inches. That's what it says right here. 27 inches for every 3 minutes. So if you multiply those numbers by 20, you get 540 inches for 60 minutes. And you think you're done. The only problem is this. It says how many feet of ribbon can the machine make. So what I need to do here is then recognize, this is why it's called multi-step. What I need to do is recognize here that 540 inches is not in feet. So how do I convert from inches to feet? Well, I need to divide because there's 12 inches in a foot. So 540 inches is equal to how many feet? I need to divide by 12. And then I'll get the answer. 12 goes into 54. 4 times 12 is 48. 14 minus 8 is 6, and I borrowed. So I'm going to have 6D. 12 goes into 65 times. 5 times 12 is 60. And you get 0, you get 45 feet. It says explain. we could show our work. We could do this. I'll help you. I'd probably do this right here. 27 inches over 3 minutes times 20 equals 540 inches over 60 minutes. And then you need to write 540 inches divided by 12 equals 45 feet. All right, good job. We are done with page 183.